Welcome to another episode of Matt Adams' Mad Money, featuring your host, Adam, me. Previously, I had promised you folks an overview of some of the interesting token and coin projects going on out there that I've looked at. Now, keep in mind, these are not projects that I'm soliciting in any way for you to invest in. These are just interesting pieces of technology that are being developed on the blockchain technology. So, most of these are ERC20 based, not because I'm only looking at those, but that just happens to be where a lot of the innovation is happening right now. So the first off is one called Acorn. Now, Acorn does something very unique in this space. So you might have heard of crowdsourced lending. So there are companies out there like right now, like Lending Tree and others, where you can crowdsource a loan for money, or you could invest in loans. So say I've got an extra $100 lying around and I want to invest it in some new way. You can buy shares of loans, right? You can invest your money in loans. So Acorn does something similar on the blockchain. So if you're looking to get a loan, Acorn allows you to, in a decentralized manner, crowdsource the funds for a loan, right? So that project alone is it looks really interesting and something that I'd love to see more of that concept in the blockchain space. Something that I've talked about a bit with some of the folks in my community regarding OST and lending. It's a similar platform, not exactly what I'm in the end hoping to see, but very interesting and progressive technology there. The second is a project called Poet, po.et. So Poet, they are trying to create a platform for digital rights management on the blockchain. Poet allows you to create content on the blockchain in such a way that your content, when put through their technology, is essentially copyrighted to you, the owner of the token. So if your tokens are secure, your content is secure. And as we all know by now, the blockchain is the most secure way to secure things, right? So it is a decentralized trust mechanism, right? So if I'm an author, right, I can run my content, my writing through Poet's blockchain and secure it so that there's no way anyone can steal it. No one can say they own it. No one can claim rights to it without me explicitly giving it to them. This is something that I believe the digital rights industry has been sorely lacking. So Poet leverages the blockchain to allow you to be worry-free about people stealing your stuff, stealing your digital rights, right? So if I'm an author, I can run my content through Poet to protect it, because right now digital rights are essentially owned by corporations. If you're not a corporation, how do you protect your stuff without big money in the game, right? So this is a way for the average citizen to be able to protect their rights, their digital rights, in such a way that it's as powerful, but in my mind more powerful than the protection that large firms are able to leverage for things like copyrighted movies or books or any of this. Another really interesting project out there, and just like the others, this is something that I've been waiting to see without necessarily knowing that I've been waiting for. The cool thing about Monaco is it takes the ideas behind Bitcoin and revolutionizing currency through the blockchain, and it just takes it a whole nother step forward, a large step forward. Monaco allows you to get a credit card that essentially links to your blockchain wallet. So say you've got a bunch of Bitcoin in your Bitcoin wallet. That's not really liquid, right? You can't go to a store, an average store. You can't go to Walmart and buy your groceries, buy the things that you need in your daily life using your Bitcoin. Monaco gives you a clear path between your daily expenditures and your crypto assets, right? So you have your assets over here in your digital wallets, and you have all the things that you need to buy. In the middle, Monaco creates a credit card, essentially, that links an actual credit card account with your digital wallet. So when you swipe it, it takes funds from your digital wallet and credits the purchase that you just made. So it essentially creates a middleman-free way for you to take your digital assets and liquidize them instantly into purchases. That's great. So here's another one for you. Storage. STORJ. Storage is almost an obvious technology on the blockchain. You've heard of Dropbox, Google Drive, right? Cloud storage. There's tons of companies out there right now. There was a big boom in cloud storage several years back. And if you don't have your stuff in the cloud right now, well, frankly, I'd be surprised, because Apple uses their own cloud. Microsoft has their own cloud. Google has their own. Everybody has their own cloud. Heck, I have my own personal cloud through my network attached storage, right? So it's a way for you to offload your digital stuff in a more secure off-site way, where if your computer melts down, your stuff's still safe because it's in the cloud, right? But is it really safe? Your files are only as safe as those servers. So what storage does is it runs your digital files through the blockchain. It's a decentralized cloud storage platform. So now don't think about it as, oh, well, anyone that downloads that blockchain has access to my files. No, it's a ledger that it doesn't necessarily house your actual files, but it allows you to store your files in such a way that you can't lose them. They're on the blockchain, for crying out loud. So next I'd like to highlight power sharing blockchain tech. So say you have a large ranch and you have windmills and solar panels, right? And your neighbors, they don't. But you're such a nice person, you want to share your power with them, but you feel you should be compensated for that. Well, they can't just come to your house and be like, hey, can you plug this extension cord into your solar panels and I'll plug it into my house. I mean, that just doesn't work. So there's two projects I want to highlight here. One is Power Ledger, and the other is WePower. Now, they're pretty much the same. I'm not going to go into depth about the differences and whatnot, but essentially they allow the community to share electricity with each other, right? So the way I envision this technology blossoming in the coming years, it will allow communities to manage their own electric grid. You won't have this one company for an entire state or an entire region that is a monopoly on electricity, and you're at their whim, their beck and call for how much you pay them for what you need to survive. Because in today's world, if you don't have electricity, you don't have heat, you don't have air conditioning, you don't have a refrigerator. You almost, it's not that you can't live, but you can't live in this society without electricity. So why should you be relying on one single company to provide that for you at a price that they deem is fair market value? Why can't you leverage your neighbor's solar panels to help offset your electric costs while still providing them some value for what they're giving you? Well, imagine if you could set up a trading platform where you provide crypto assets to your neighbor and they provide you with electricity at an agreed upon rate. And you could wire up your entire community in such a way that you're all sharing power. so that your neighbor over there who's got a wind farm, their own windmills, right? And you've got a huge solar array. So on days that are extremely nice and beautiful and sunny, but there's no wind, well, you're generating excess electricity. They're not generating any because the wind's not blowing. Why not share? So you provide some electricity to them, and then the next day, well, there's a storm coming in. It's cloudy out and the wind's blowing. Your solar panels, they're not making any electricity, but your neighbor's windmills are. So they'll provide you with power while you can't provide them. But there's this trading going on under the covers of tokens, right? So there's value being traded across where it's crypto assets for electricity or electricity for crypto assets back and forth. It's a beautiful thing where the community can support itself, where neighbors can support each other. So technologies like Power Ledger and WePower allow for that, and it's only going to grow stronger. Now, there's one last project that I want to talk about, and it was only introduced to me in the last few days. So I haven't looked into it a whole lot, but I was asked to talk about it a little bit. So the project is called Crowd Machine. It's kind of an odd name. It's almost a misnomer because the name itself doesn't really tell you what it's about. But it's really an amalgamation of a couple different projects in one. So they have Crowd Compute, which is essentially decentralized and blockchain-based computational power sharing, right, across the blockchain. Then they also have an app space where it's kind of like, many of you probably aren't developers, but those that are, or those that are aware of this sphere, it's kind of like a decentralized IDE, right? It's a development environment on the blockchain that you can use to develop dApps for things that run on the Crowd Compute, right? So Crowd Compute also has a third aspect that's all about sharing these apps, right? So it's a beautiful symbiotic relationship between these three different aspects of this one project. But essentially you have this space where you can create dApps, and you have this other space where you can share those apps, but those apps run on a decentralized computer platform, all within this Crowd Machine, right? It's really cool tech. And if it takes off, it's still in ICO stage right now, but if it takes off, I can see it being a large benefactor towards the increase of everyday people like you and me being able to create dApps and allow other people to actually use them. And it's not just all stuck up in your head as an idea, right? It'll allow the population to be able to get their creative ideas out and realize them in such a way that it fully utilizes the blockchain, right? So it's almost like they're asking people to take what they've made and make better things with it. So to sum it up, we've got Acorn, which is a decentralized, blockchain-based, crowdsourced lending platform. We've got Poet, which is a blockchain-based digital rights platform. We've got Monaco, which is a decentralized liquidity platform using credit cards. And I believe it's more than just credit cards too, by the way. We've got Storage, which is decentralized cloud storage on the blockchain. Okay, and then we've got Power Ledger and WePower. Blockchain, decentralized power sharing. Lastly, we've got Crowd Machine, this decentralized, essentially app engine that runs in the cloud, the blockchain cloud. So a bunch of projects that I find extremely interesting. I hope you do too. Check them out. I'll try and post some links down below if YouTube lets me. Google them, research, look up other ERC tokens, and drop some comments down below here of other projects you want me to look into, or just things that you find interesting, or just any crypto topics you want to hear more about. And please remember to subscribe to my channel if you want to get updates on when I post new videos, because I'm going to try and pump these out because I've got so much to talk about because blockchain is so amazing. And tell your friends. Share this channel on your Facebook account, on your Twitter. I've got a Twitter account. Look me up. I'm MattAdam99 on Twitter, on Gmail, on Telegram. So look me up, share my stuff, please. Drop some comments, share the videos you love, hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to talking with you folks again, and enjoy your week. I'll talk to you later.